So today we have a wonderful Jackie again. She's going to share some information about law, the law aspect of Uganda. So stay tuned to the very end. It's going to be juicy, especially if you're interested in law as much as I am. So, Miss Jackie, tell us about yourself, whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Okay. Grace has said, I'm Jackie Chisache. I'm a Muganda by tribe. I'm a Ugandan. I am a lawyer by profession and also into business. Um, and also into business. Um, um, I love during my free time. I do a lot of charity work. I go to church. I'm into church so much. And I also love hanging out with friends. I love being on the beach. I love traveling.
Hey, awesome. That sounds great, Miss Jackie.
Yeah.
So, about law, who influenced you? How did you start? We want to know every detail, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, and how we can protect ourselves as great citizens of Uganda. Yes.
I had I realized when I was in school that I wasn't good at sciences. That was in my P6, P5, P6. I don't know the equivalent of P6 in US. But yeah, I realized I wasn't good at sciences. So I kept thinking, what am I going to do when I grow up if I don't like sciences? I wasn't good at math. I wasn't good at all those science subjects.
But Miss Jack is really smart. Let me stop her there. She's just being modest, y'all. She's really smart, okay? Maybe she wasn't good. She said she wasn't good. She was good, but not as good as she wanted to be.
Yeah, so I thought I couldn't do numbers. I was like, what will I do when I grow up? So as a young person, I was like, I think I can think about being a lawyer. So I kept that thought. I carried it with me through secondary school. I started looking out for subjects that would favor me. I looked out for literature, and I was still not passing the science subjects so well. I don't know, it was because it was a mindset that had made up my mind that this is not the route I'm taking. Anyway, I did my seniors my senior level, and God helped me that I passed and qualified for law, but as a private student. I thank God for my mom. She told me, whatever you choose, I'll pay. So I went through law school. It was hard. It wasn't easy. It was harder than I thought, and yeah, but slowly I went through it and I passed the 4 years. It's 4 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I passed, and then even before you see your results, you're supposed to read for the back course. Even before you graduate from campus, you have to start reading for. By then we had pre-entry exams to enter the back course.
Okay.
So I prepared for those, and I also passed the pre-entry
Congratulations
exams.
again.
I actually graduated. I graduated from university. My graduation, my university graduation came while I was doing the back course. Yeah, so I graduated. I did the back course. It was hard.
You
It
did
tests
it
you to the
though. You
bone.
did it though.
Yes, I did it though, and I passed. And from there, I enrolled for masters.
Okay.
And then, like a few months after the back course, I decided also try out the pre-entry for masters.
Awesome.
I did it. It was written and also oral. God helped me also pass that, and I embarked on the master's journey, still at Makerere University.
Okay.
So along the way, I think I got so stressed because it was a journey from university, LDC, from LDC.
What is LDC?
LDC is the back course, Law Development Center.
You see, we're
So
learning
it was
a lot.
stressing. It was a lot for me. So along the way, I think I got so tired and stressed out and gave my masters a break. But I was working. Luckily, I have my auntie who is a lawyer, and she happened to be my boss.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
She used to help me so much. So I didn't have to look for a job. So I was working, and I put my masters on hold. I started working. I did the practice. Yeah, but after a while, I had to go back and finish my masters. Actually, graduated I actually graduated this year in January.
Congratulations! Hey, you graduate. Congratulations, Jackie.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You went and did it.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. You start something and you
had to
persevere and
finish.
finish. I like that about you.
Yeah.
You see, never give up. You hear Miss Jackie? She did it.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So-
you mentioned so many points in one question, so I don't even know where to touch because you had perseverance. You had your mom being able to support
My
you,
auntie.
and your aunt having the job. So it's so many things I really want to share and also encourage somebody who's out there who might not get that source of support. You see, how are they able to continue pursuing something such as law if they don't have the source of income to support themselves at college or university?
I think it starts with you having that dream. If you have that dream, trust me, you will push for it. I remember I was an evening student and I had my colleagues who are working, they looked for jobs.
Okay.
They were evening students, and during the day they had to maneuver, they had to look for jobs and work and get money. Some of them were paying for themselves. And then also university has scholarships. University has scholarships.
Yeah.
There are people who would, like, for people who are less privileged, there were opportunities for them to be funded at university.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so know what you want. You know, when you don't have a lot, you just know you don't have so many options. So you have to be sure that you know what you want and focus and don't give up, because it's not easy. But you have to purpose that you won't give up, and you give it your best, you give it your all. And even if you fail along the way, it's not the end of the world. I thank God for university that you get to redo that paper while you continue to move.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, unless you're carrying so many papers, unless you failed so many papers. But if you fail one or two,
you can
continue with year 2 as you're still redoing year 1.
I like that.
Yes.
Okay, it might be a little overwhelming, but at least they give you the chance to continue on.
Wow. You carry those papers with you and you go back, redo them, and you just have to program yourself. Yeah.
Awesome.
And always look for the cheap options when you're doing these things. Don't go for the most expensive accommodation. Always look for the cheap options if you know you don't have much.
Like something reasonable, which will be better for your budget.
Yeah, the good thing with Kampala, they have all sorts of budgets. You have a low budget. You even food. I remember people had spots where there was affordable food where you would say, "Oh, I want cassava 500 shillings. I want beef of 1,000."
Okay.
Yeah, there were also affordable meals.
You see,
you just have to know where to go. If you know you have a limited budget, there's always something for you. Yeah.
But the biggest thing is having the dream.
Having that dream and pushing on.
Awesome. Thank you. And now let's talk about the jobs. So you were lucky, you had your aunt.
Yes.
How can you encourage people who are out there, had their law degrees, but they can't find a job?
There are so many law firms. Every day there are much-forming law firms. Every day, like, there are so many law firms, but most of them might not be able to give you salary. They will tell you, we are giving you a desk.
Oh, you'll hear this, okay? You need to hear this.
We are giving you space.
Okay.
So you have to start looking for your own clients.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They'll tell you, okay, we are giving you space. We might not give you salary, but look for your own clients. So you have to be a bit aggressive.
Oh. So any other ideas you can give us for somebody interested?
And then try to find unique areas. Because we have so many lawyers. Right now, there are so many universities that are releasing lawyers. Every year, people are studying law. I actually tell my friends that if someone threw a stone if someone is standing in Kampala and they threw a stone, chances are high that it will hit a lawyer.
That's so funny. That is so funny. I like that. Oh my God.
So many.
Oh my goodness.
So you have to be unique.
But it is commendable and admirable to be able to be an attorney and a lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah, like go back and do those short courses.
Yeah.
Everyone has the degree, everyone has the bar. Go back and do masters.
Yeah.
Do another short course, oil and gas, environment. You know, find something unique.
Yeah.
Go somewhere. Yes. Yeah. There are so many areas that you can look into that are green, and stop being like others.
Yeah,
So
like everybody else.
yeah,
And
these
that's the
days
thing
there are even
about
online
Uganda,
classes.
though.
So many online courses you can.
But that's the thing about Uganda. One thing that actually makes it different from other countries, Uganda, sometimes somebody finishes Macquarie or a 4-year course and they feel like they've finished school and they don't want to go back. Even if you tell them, okay, you can do this course, they're like, we already finished school. So it's a mindset thing, you see? So be open-minded, people.
And market yourself on social media.
You
There's
see that?
LinkedIn.
You see?
Put your CV there. Keep updating. Keep posting.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, employers are there
They're
looking
there.
for people.
Exactly.
They'll reach out. Yes.
Mhm.
So don't just be normal. Just be extraordinary. Like be different.
Mhm.
Yes.
Awesome. And now let's talk about the criteria, because you mentioned going to university. So what is the criteria to be an attorney, really? Because I'm saying attorney, but I don't know, how do you refer yourselves as in Uganda?
When you finish the 4 years,
Mhm.
that's the university level. You become a lawyer.
Okay.
Yes, or attorney, like you say. After, when you do the back course, the 9 months of the back course, you become an advocate of the High Court and subordinate courts.
Oh.
Yes, you enroll and become an
All right,
advocate. That's
so
when you can be able to go to court.
we have to
do the LDC, Law Development Center, the back course.
Yeah.
You become an advocate. That's when you can become a practicing lawyer. You can get a practicing certificate and start going to court.
Okay.
They first give you one.
Kati amaso kankali wano Jackie.
Okay. So they first give you one for 1 year, the first one. Then after you renew, you get the higher one. The first one allows you to only go to lower courts, like the magistrates courts. Then after, you can go to all the highest courts, all the high courts. That's the High Court, Court of Appeal, and Supreme Court.
Okay. Awesome. It's interesting. I don't know. I've always loved law. In fact, my family members always wonder how come Grace didn't do law. And I'm still trying to pursue it. I'm still trying because I haven't actively started. But I'm really interested because I did study for the LSAT. I didn't take it, but I was in the process of actually about to take it when my nursing applications got approved. So I had 2 schools which accepted me into nursing school. So I had to weigh my options, and I was like, you know what? Law, nursing school. Law, nursing school. So I talked to 2 attorneys. You see, do your research. Yeah. I talked to 2 attorneys and I asked them, like, what would you recommend? And in the US, they did recommend nursing because they said the biggest thing for me was I needed to get a job right away. You see, I didn't have a lot of money. So they told me as a nurse, you get out whatever amount of years, even 2-year college, you get a job immediately before you even graduate. However, as an attorney, it's a little longer to get a job, even in the US sometimes. So I thought about that closely and I was like, you know what? I need to do the right thing for me right now. And it was to get a job. However, I'm still thinking about going back to pursue my law degree. So don't count me out yet. I'm going to be your colleague one day. Yeah, you never know because it's always interesting. But then the biggest thing for me, I want to be a judge. I don't want to be just a regular no.
Yeah, you have to go straight.
I'm justice, okay? Chief Justice, y'all. So y'all call me Chief Justice. I'm counting it into existence, y'all. So one day, God willing. Yeah, it sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So how do you become Chief Justice or even a judge in Uganda? Yeah.
Usually there are appointments.
Okay.
They can start because they advertise. They start from, sometimes they advertise for the lower magistrates. That's why you can decide to start from the lowest level. Okay. But you have to join that very early because by the time you raise through the ranks from magistrate, there's grade 1, grade 2 chief magistrate, then to become a judge, then you can become a registrar, then court of appeal judge.
It's a long process.
High court judge, court of appeal judge, Supreme Court judge.
Oh wow.
You have to join right after the back course. Okay, you do some years of practice and when they advertise, you can start from magistrate very early. Because right now for me, I can't even start from magistrate. By the time I rise through the ranks, I might have reached retirement age.
Are you serious?
Yes, because
it depends on what your goals are. You see?
And right now, like you can't even tell when they're advertising.
How
They just
come?
advertise randomly when they are
Oh
expensive.
no.
You can't
And
know.
funny enough, I
Mm-hmm.
know they might as they're advertising, someone already has already
Oh, they already know somebody.
They already know. You have even connections. You need connections.
Goodness,
we call them
Lord.
godparents.
Oh no,
Yeah,
because
so-
that's the problem with Uganda, yo. You have to know somebody. So I know Jackie, yo. And we know our auntie.
Oh, you know.
So we are no step higher. No,
Yeah.
not really. But you have to work hard too,
Yes.
because you have to be good at what you are.
There are
You see,
also
at your skills.
there are also appointments where you distinguish yourself, like I talked about. Where maybe you lecture, you've done it for so long, you're good. They can just appoint you there straight to becoming a judge.
Awesome.
You don't have to go through that levels
Okay.
of magistrate, registrar, and then like they just appoint you because of your
Wow.
distinguished services.
I
Maybe
see
you've written
that.
a book.
Yeah,
Maybe
that would
you've
be
been,
awesome.
Yeah, maybe you've been outstanding in your practice.
We need to write books, y'all.
Mhm.
Outstanding in practice, write
Yeah, you've
books.
written maybe a law book and it has really people have used it and people have gained wisdom
from it. Yeah,
like they can
I like
appoint
that.
you after
Okay.
as long as you're distinguished, as long as they see you exceptional in your practice, in your career,
We are
they
exceptional.
can easily appoint you. Maybe you've sat on different boards.
Oh,
You have
so you really
helped
have to
out
be active.
Yeah, so there you can easily, when they advertise that we are looking for high court judges, you put in your CV and you show them what you have been doing and how you have been improving the legal profession. And
Okay.
they can easily appoint you.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. So, what area of law do you actually practice? You're specializing.
Right now, personally, I love land and civil, mainly civil and also company law.
Okay.
Yeah, civil can be company law, it can be land. Yeah, I don't like criminal because I don't like dealing with police. Police is so corrupt for me. I feel I don't have the patience to deal with police.
Okay, so you have to know what you want. Yeah, and what you can tolerate. Because like you said, if you don't want to deal with corruption and whatnot.
Give me land, I will do it. Give me domestic, I will do it.
So now you'll see. If you want land in Uganda, call Jackie. Okay? So it's no excuse. Yeah, you see, we have a client, a testimony right here, y'all.
Very fast.
You see? Yeah, so no excuse, yo. You want land in Uganda? Jackie, we're gonna put her contact
company
in
law,
the details right here, so you
get
should
it
see them so she can help you with your land. Or make sure you don't have any issues on your property.
Even if you do, we can try and see how to go around them.
You see that? That's awesome though, because we have a lot of issues and coming in Uganda sometimes with land, and not just in Uganda, everywhere. So it's always good to have the right team. Yeah, because even me in the US, I always consult attorneys. I don't close without an attorney. I close. I remember one of my clients called me one day and she said, "Oh, I wanted to." She wasn't my actual client, but she had helped her previously. But she was in the middle of purchasing another property, and she was dealing with the owner directly. So I was like, you know what? I can still help you. However, I really want you to deal with an attorney. So I sent her details to an attorney. She was a little skeptical because she was like, you know what? I have to pay more money. But I was like, you know what? However much money you have to protect yourself now, that'll help you in the future. So. And
sometimes it's sad when someone comes with an issue and you're like, why didn't you involve a lawyer?
Exactly.
This would have been prevented.
You see that?
You do an agreement from using your own knowledge. Maybe you use a chairman, you use local authorities that don't know the law. And after things go bad, that's when you look for a lawyer. And yet you would have avoided all this if in the first place you involved a lawyer in that transaction.
I agree. So how do you see the current Ugandan law scene headed? How are we headed? Are we going in the right direction? Are we deteriorating? Where are we? Okay, on the pretty much on the, I would say, on the world scale, as it concerns law.
Okay, like I said earlier, you have to distinguish yourself because we are so many. People have put in the work. People are going international. People are applying and they're joining the back course in US. You know.
Oh my.
People are going out there. because here they see we are so concentrated, we are so many. People are going, pursuing masters abroad, going into different jurisdictions, going into Europe, going into US, and studying, and because they feel here like they have to leave space for others who are coming. So people are going out there, people are being unique, people are looking, people are being creative.
Interesting.
Yeah, people are embracing technology.
But that's good.
I was so glad recently, a few years ago, like 2-3 years ago, they rolled out an electronic system where you file your case
electronically.
Yeah, you just sit in the comfort of your office, draft your pleadings,
Are you kidding
file and
me?
pay electronically. Yes, these days you don't have to say, oh, I have to run to court before 6, before 5, before court closes. You can even file at 12 a.m. in the night.
Interesting. That's awesome though.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on, and that even builds a system. It brings new areas for people to practice and people to look into. So now there's technology and the law. Yeah, there are so many innovations that technology is bringing, and people are embracing these things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome too. So you mentioned it's very competitive. Okay. So how do you market yourself? So with the business side of law, because you still have to continue marketing yourself. In real estate, I know how sometimes after you deal with a client, literally you have to start over every time with a new client. So do you keep some clients on retainer? How do you consistently keep, I guess, gain income with law?
Oh yeah, we also have retainer basis.
Okay.
Companies are those that have continuing work, like companies need updating, they need advice. So those ones we keep them on retainer.
Okay.
But personal, usually you have to be able to go out there and promote yourself, attend social activities, social events, wherever you are. Talk about what you do. Find people find the right people you always hang out with. Like go, like maybe like me, I've told you I do a lot of church. Wherever you are in wherever circles you have, just always market yourself. And once you get a client, give it your best, because always that person will always refer if you treat them well, if you're professional and deliver.
You already have this client who referred you already, so we are coming, Jackie.
Exactly.
Don't worry.
They'll always bring you.
I'm telling you.
Yes, you had a
They'll
testimonial.
Yes,
Yes.
Jackie, I'm telling you the truth.
There
have
she
your
goes.
values,
Yeah.
do your work, deliver, and always be authentic. Tell someone the right thing, even if they have a bad case. If you find them and they have a bad case, don't rush to tell them, oh, I'm going to perform magic. Tell them, oh, someone owes you money. How about we come up with a payment plan?
Yeah.
Don't tell them, I can block that person from demanding. No. Always tell the people the right thing to do. Don't be a mafia. We call them mafias.
So Nyabo. Yeah, that's really good. You have to differentiate yourself, and also one customer tells the next customer.
Referrals.
Yes, referrals are the best.
Most Ugandans get their work through referrals.
Okay.
Twinalo farm neighboring. Naiebo, like I think that gentleman did some good work for an Indian, and now it's like he has an entire Indian community.
Oh my goodness! Now you see, always treat your clients the best of your ability.
Yes.
You never know who will bring another client to you. Yeah, so I like that a lot. Yeah. So, Jackie, what is a typical day of an attorney in Uganda?
Okay. For me, I usually get up depending on the schedule I have. I'm not a morning person, but if I have court out of Kampala, definitely I have to get up very early, pray, get ready. I dress up depending on what I'm going to do that day.
Always super dressed. Look at her. Always nice.
If I'm going to court, I'll have to wear a jacket that I know. I'll have to wear a decent color. Yes. My day determines, and also the weather determines what I'm going to dress, what I'm going to wear. So I dress up. Then I pray before I leave the house. I usually make another prayer for God to direct me, and then I start off my day. If it's court, I head there. I make sure I get there before time. I get panic attacks, especially when I'm late. So if I have court, I'll make sure I'm there 20 minutes earlier. I have to be seated and waiting for the judge. Yes, if I have a meeting, I also always want to keep time. I want to respect people's time. Ugandans don't keep time, but I don't want to.
Please talk about that. How you deal with people who don't know the essence of time.
Someone once said you reach, like, you have a meeting with Ugandans and they'll tell you, oh, we are all late. Everyone is late. You know.
It's embarrassing sometimes though, because that's how we lose business.
So usually when you're dealing with Ugandans, you find yourself, if the meeting is supposed to be 10, you tell them 9:30.
Are you serious? No, you might even tell them 8 o'clock. They still come there at 11.
So you have to know that you're dealing with a Ugandan. You have to know who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a Ugandan, you have to put extra minutes for them. Extra minutes, like 30 minutes. So you always fix.
We need to do better, people.
Yes, we don't keep time.
Because we are losing opportunities. Because if somebody comes and they are waiting on you, they will find somebody who's on time.
I hate it.
So how do you deal with that in Uganda? Because already I've dealt with that, and I've been telling people, okay, if you're not coming at a certain time, I'm finding somebody else. Right. So Lily, they know me. Grace has plan A and plan B. If plan A doesn't work, I'm doing with plan B. And that's how I've been able to keep up in Uganda and keep my sanity. So how do you deal with it on a regular basis?
I've mentioned telling people, if I want to see you like at 8, I'll tell you 7.
I like that.
I also run a business. I schedule other things within that time.
I like that, because then you're planning A and B.
For you to avoid being frustrated,
you see?
I'll be on my phone attending to other things, attending to my customers. So wherever you come in, I'm like, I'm okay with that.
I agree. You have to.
That time. So I schedule other things that I can do within that time in case someone is late.
Yeah.
So that I don't get mad, so that I get pissed. I always
because it can discourage your whole day.
Exactly. It can spoil your day.
Yeah. So it's like if you have this particular plan and you're waiting for that, you'll be disappointed, because then you might have to push other plans for the next day and then the next day, and before you know it, it's a whole month and you haven't done anything.
So usually I find something else that I can do within that time as I wait for you.
Okay, so don't people get discouraged by you sometimes when you're on time all the time, and
people will take you that way. They will know Grace keeps time.
Yeah,
it's like, if I'm not on time, Grace will be mad at me. They will know that this one doesn't keep time. People will know, and they will try to keep up.
I always say, teach people how to treat you.
Exactly.
Because people will respond accordingly.
They'll
be like, such and such, I'll make it on time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So set your goals, set your standards. People will just fit in. They'll try and fit in.
They'll try to fit in. Especially if they want to work with you.
If they want to work with you, they'll try to fit in.
Yeah, I agree. So you were telling us the process of court. So once you get to court, okay, so in the US they have a jury of 12. How is it like in Uganda?
When you get to court, it depends on the type of case.
Okay.
If it's high court judges, criminal cases, they sit with assessors. These are people they get from communities that are not lawyers, to also make an assessment of the case, usually criminal cases.
So are those also like a jury?
No, they just give their opinions, and the judge has a right to take it or leave it. Like, the judges are not bound by assessors' opinions, but it's always a judge. And then as you go on, maybe court of appeal, that's when you can see a set of justices attending to a case. They're actually called justices, and high courts, they are called judges. Yeah, they sit on it's usually a panel of 3 judges. Okay. Yes, and they all give judgment.
Interesting. Yeah. So I hope I don't end up in court one day. But that would be interesting to learn the process, and to prepare you. Anybody who ends up in court and you watch this video, this is for you to prepare you what you might have to encounter when you end up in the Ugandan court. And is that the same process for a foreigner as well? Or is that just for Uganda?
We are all bound by the same law.
The same law.
As long as the crime, as long as the crime is committed in Uganda, as long as your case is within the Ugandan law, falls under the Ugandan law, Ugandan jurisdiction, you follow the Ugandan law.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is there a special or any memorable cases that you conducted before that you'd like to share and the clients are okay sharing? It doesn't have to be specific. It can be something related, say maybe a land. So something that you can remember to share with the public, and it can be an educational thing to warn somebody who's watching.
I might not share the actual details because some of the cases are still ongoing and we cannot come out and talk about them. We can't talk about them. But what I want to tell people is the Ugandan court system takes a lot of time. If you can avoid it, please. I did my master's and my area of research was mediation. I believe we need to embrace mediation out of court settlements. I've seen cases that take 5 years, but if the people had sat down and discussed and come to a conclusion and forgiven themselves, sometimes you're taking someone to court because you're so mad at them and you don't want to forgive. But that unforgiveness will take you 5 years to get judgment, which you're not even sure you'll get. And things change, laws change, so it's always easier for you to settle disputes out of court. And my happiest times are when someone tells you, I'm ready to settle. I'm like, okay, can we find a way of settling this outside court? Those are my best days.
That is true, because sometimes you have to think about win-win and go with the best solution. Because you don't have to always have the last word. You see?
So what I would advise people, please embrace out of court settlement. You'll be frustrated and you'll have to pay the lawyer whenever they go to court, whether the judge has showed up or not. You'll pay
costly.
Yes, you pay them. You have to pay your lawyer. So paying your lawyer for 5 years whenever they are going to court
is
expensive.
Want that.
Yes. Sometimes even after 5 years, maybe, God forbid, some clients pass on.
And you're still fighting in court.
You're still fighting and you pass on. And once you pass on, your case dies with you.
Are you serious? And you spend so much money.
They appoint administrators who are interested and they take it on. But that also depends on the type of case.
Oh, wow.
There are cases that are passed on where no one can take it on. It was just you and the other person fighting.
So that's strange.
Yeah, so
wow.
Out of court
how you paid so much money and here you are and you have to start over with a new person, right? Interesting. So we had the toll. Trying to get this done at the toll bridge. You pay 5,000 to use the Entebbe Express, so you don't see any borders and taxis because they don't want to pay that $5,000. Oh, Ugandan shilling. I'm good. Wow. But thank you for those wonderful, kind words, Jackie. Any last words you'd like to share with us? Because you've shared a lot. I feel like I'm so competent right now. You see? Now I feel so knowledgeable. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it that you took your time to share all this information with us. Because sometimes, as Ugandans, we don't like to share. And people have a lot of information, but sometimes we keep that information just for us. So when you have somebody who takes their time to share with you, you better be grateful.
Maybe my parting remarks would be in relation to paying your lawyers.
Okay. Before you even finish that, let's add on a question with that. Do people actually pay before or after? And some people a little had to get payments afterwards, after the service.
Yeah, it's always easy to get someone to pay when the utility curve is high, when they need you.
When they need you.
Yes, that's where we borrow lawyers,
Okay.
sometimes you put a lot of time, you go fix something, and when someone gets relief, like a painkiller, they'll sit back. They realize
They forget you.
they forget you. They will stop
They
picking
run.
calls. Yes.
Oh no, that's
But
not good
once they are
though.
going through that pain, that's the best time to ask them to pay.
Ask
Unless
you
you
to
trust
pay.
them. Unless
But
you
even
know
if you
them.
trust them, things come up.
Yeah. So always, and people always go for cheap options. I've
You
heard
see?
of a client who was billed, like, I bill you, you don't want to pay. The firm bills you, you don't want to pay, and you choose to deal with a lawyer personally. Like the firm gives you a lawyer, and you tell them, can't we just have our own arrangement?
Oh, so they can cut out the middleman, which is the
Yes.
farm. Whereby the problem is the farm needs to make money too to continue its business.
And then the lawyer frustrated the client, and then he came back running to the farm. And the farm
Oh,
is like,
no.
you decided, yes, the lawyer
You cut
frustrated,
us
yes,
up.
you cut us
Oh
out.
no, not a good idea, y'all.
Exactly.
So
And don't go for cheaper options. Usually,
Yeah.
when someone bills you, you have the option of looking around, but don't go for the cheap. You go for the cheapest. Okay, it's good to find a reasonable price, but don't go for the cheapest.
yeah, you pay what
Because the
you
cheapest
get what you pay for.
will just do something very basic for you. You will go also for the cheaper options when they are addressing your problem. So
The quickest one
the
to get
quickest
rid
one
of
to
it.
get rid of you, because they are
Wow.
not getting much from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so always,
Right.
always.
So people pay people their
If
worth,
someone
yo.
is good, you've used them before.
Yeah.
Pay them.
Especially you need quality service, so
Yeah.
that's what you're paying for. You want quality service, you pay for quality service. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sorry I cut you off. You started saying the last word. So we talked about the payment. Anything
Yeah.
else that you can think of?
Anything else that I can tell them? I mentioned it earlier. Get a lawyer at the beginning of a transaction. Don't wait for things to go sour and then come running to a lawyer.
Tell them.
Miracle.
Tell them.
So always have a lawyer at the beginning of every transaction. Always call your lawyer, involve them, and let them guide you to avoid certain expenses. Because you might want to save money, but at the end of it, all the implications might be way more expensive than if you had engaged a lawyer at the beginning.
I agree.
You might lose out on your plot of land, entire plots.
Oh,
And yet you would have, if you had involved the lawyer would have pointed out things you wouldn't have noticed, you know? Yeah, so always involve a lawyer.
Because I know there are so many land disputes in Uganda.
Is there possibility of telling the lie, the lawyer?
A lie. Oh, always be open. It's painful.
Oh, people lie to lawyers.
lie.
Oh my goodness.
Always tell
Why are
the
you lying
truth.
to your attorneys,
It will
yo?
be
Just like
painful.
lying to your doctors and whatnot, and then they
Exactly.
find out the truth later.
Yeah.
That's wasting of time and costing your health.
You find out in the middle of the case that this person withheld certain information. That's why when someone comes to me,
Oh,
I
wow.
always want to listen to the other side of the
The
story.
story.
So you can know. Don't lie to your lawyers. Tell them the truth, because the truth is always the truth. It comes out. And
It
even
will.
during court, when you're giving evidence, it's easier for you to give evidence. I don't give the evidence. You give the evidence in court. It's easier for you to give the evidence if you're telling the truth. You don't forget. If you're telling
Exactly,
the truth,
but then if
the
you're telling a
truth
lie,
is
you
the
have to
truth.
always cover your lies.
Yes, a lie will always need another lie to stand.
And you have to remember all those lies that you've
You have
told.
to cram. But if you're telling the truth, whatever
You
question
know,
they
it's
throw at
consistent.
you'll answer.
Yeah.
Because you know what you're saying.
Oh
If there's something wrong that you didn't do, tell your lawyer so they can find a way of how to deal with that lie, to deal with that problem, the mistake you make.
I agree. I can't agree for you.
Yeah.
So, any other questions you can think of? Oh, thank you so much, Jackie. And if you have any other questions, please comment, subscribe, and also support our Jackie,
Please
because she's
subscribe,
here to assist
subscribe.
you if you have any issues, because you don't want to wait until the last minute when it's too late and lose your land.